This is a lecture from Open Tuition. To benefit from the lecture, you should download the free lecture notes from opentuition.com.
The final section of this chapter is about terminal loss relief. Now, terminal loss is the loss in the final 12 months of trading, and it's worked in two parts, which are divide the last 12 months between the final and penultimate tax years. I'll show you in a second, it'll be easier than you think. Okay, so we've got the actual trade loss in the year of cessation, plus any overlap relief that arises from the opening years, and the loss, the actual loss for the period 12 months before cessation until the end of the penultimate year. Now that's the rule. Okay, I've just read them out to you. I'm going to explain it to you. It's much easier if I explain it to you thus. Okay, are you ready? So, terminal loss relief is the last 12 months of trade. So that's when we cease to trade. So say we cease to trade on the 30th of September 22, for example. Okay, the last 12 months takes us back to the 30th of September 21, yes? Okay, now that year is split, it's divided in two parts between the final and penultimate tax years, because there's a split down the middle, and at 6th of April. So this is the final tax year, and this is the penultimate tax year. This is 22-23, and this is 21-22. Each one of those periods is 6 months long. I've chose a simple example just to show you how. So, first thing you do, find out the cessation date, go back 6 months and split it with the tax year, wherever that may be. It may be 6-6, 3-9, 9-3, 1-11, split it. Okay, so that's what we need to do. Now, the first part, this first part here, the actual trade loss in that year of cessation. So it's the loss in this period. So whatever months it is, we've got an example later, you'll see how that works. So it could be a 6 month period, it could be 6 12ths, various, and any overlap. So that's your first stage, that's number one. Number two, the actual trade loss for the 12-month period before cessation until the end of the penultimate year. What happened here? Now, there is either a profit in this period or there is a loss in this period of time when you do the exam question. If it is a profit, you ignore it. If it is a loss, then you add it in here to make the terminal loss. So let's do an example. Example number 6. David has the following results. Before he ceased to trade, on the 31st of May 2023. So the year ended July 21, he made a profit of 28,000. In the year ended July 22, he made a profit of 6,000. In the 10 months up to the end of May 23, he made a loss. Okay, we are to show the loss available for relief under terminal loss relief, assuming overlap profits from commencement were £5,000. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to draw out the diagram that I used earlier, because this makes it easier to do. He ceased to trade. We find the correct question, so know what we're doing. on the 31st of May 23. 31st of May 23, which takes us back to the 31st of May 22. Let's split that with a tax year at the 6th of the 4th, 23. So there are 2 months in this final year and 10 months in the penultimate year. So if you remember, the first thing we needed to do, what was the actual loss in this period? So we have 2/10 of those final accounts of £20,000. And then we have to add in the overlap, which the question told us was £5,000. Okay, so far? Now, the second part, we had to work out whether there was a profit or loss in that penultimate year. And that's the year to the next day, which is the 1st of the 6th, 22, to the 5th of the 4th, 23. So I have 2/12 of £6,000 worth of profits. And then the remaining 8/10 of the loss, giving me an overall loss of 15,000. Now they have come from the year ended 31st of July 22. That's where they've come from, where those profits have come from. Now, because this is a loss, if it was a profit, remember, we had to ignore it. Because it's a loss, we add it in here. So we have a terminal loss of 24,000. That would be an acceptable answer in an exam. Some of you may find, I'm a visual holistic learner. You need to know how you learn, but that to me visually makes sense. You could do that as a working and then write it out afterwards. The alternative way, I have got a model answer here, there. So that's how they've worked it out, and you'll be able to look at that in your answers, which are at the back of the textbook, the manual. So, exam technique. Just to end this chapter, we've done this before, but I really want to make sure that you're happy with the way that you do losses. As long as you deal with losses slowly, logically, progressively, you will be able to deal with them and get maximum marks. So stage 1, step 1 was to adjust any profits or losses. Don't remember they could do. Step 2, capital allowances, which will then give us adjusted profits. Determined when the loss arises, and therefore when loss relief is available. So that's step 3, which is our basis periods. And remember, you can only have the loss once. There's no overlap losses. Set up your pro forma, okay, for each year. Tax years side by side. Leave spaces. Set up a loss memorandum for each one. If there's more than one loss, do them in chronological order. 5A, it's a 5A here, not a 4A. Breathe. And then set off the losses according to the requirement of the question. So, having been through this lecture, this chapter, you need to perhaps go back and look at it again, go through the examples, and when you're happy that you've taken in all the knowledge, do questions 13 and 14.